Hi again. This might be the last part of the video. So in my last one, I think we'd left off where I decided we needed more pages. So this is what we had. It wasn't quite enough. As you can see, it needs more. So I gathered up some more pages, and I got a few different kinds, some music paper, a couple of different kinds of book pages, botanical page, and some scrapbooking paper, and then tea stained, avocado dyed, and coffee dyed paper. So if I added this in, might be enough. I mean, you know, don't want it to gator mouth, and I can always add a few pockets and things, and that'll fill it out. So I went ahead and did this one. Did the binding on it. Came out really nice. I really like how that looks there. That's the page I saved, and it wasn't all marked up, which was nice. And I like how the fabric came out looking. I like this because you can just see the blue and not the pink, and that just kind of blends in with the colors in here. And it came out really nice. I'm just gonna kind of flip through it real fast. There were some pages that had little tears and some that didn't, but I just put some of that tape on it anyway. The faux tape, yellow tape, that actually did have a tear. Yes, I think it's going to be nice. It's got a lot of children's book pages, and it also has lots of writing space, so a nice cover. Should have no trouble selling it. So that's the end, and look at it, isn't it? Those pages are so cute. So this is the first signature. Second signature also starts with a page from the original book, as does the last one. And, you know, pictures are really cute. So there it is. So I had put in 3 signatures, and so I thought we would go ahead and put in the signatures in this one. So the first thing we have to do, and I'm going to raise the camera way up so I can actually show you how I do sort the pages. I hope this will be high enough so that you can see. Okay, so might not be, but I'll do the best I can. I'm going to do 5 signatures, so that means I've got to sort out 5 piles, equal piles of pages. So what I first do is take all of the just writing pages and set them aside in a separate pile. So those go in a pile, and then I'm going to take all the other pages, which are just book pages or scrapbook paper or anything decorative. These are also, that's writing paper there, and these I think are all book pages. Yeah. Okay, then what I do is we'll set this paper aside for now, and we'll pick out our 5 signatures, what's going in them. And I like to use, you know, like I said, I do like to use a page from the original book. I think they're at the bottom. So let's see if I can find them. Yeah, this is one here, and this was one. That will be the first page of the first signature. And this might be a nice page for the start of a signature. Gotta do 5 of them. And another big page would be, I kind of like to, you know, use kind of a big page for the first page of a signature. So it won't be one of these small ones. Let's set those aside. Maybe this one. So there's 3. Okay, I'm going to look at the camera and see if I have room to to lay these all out. Okay, yeah, that works pretty good. So then I'm just going to put the other two right down here. Okay, so let's see, what will I use for the other two? This could be the start of one, and maybe no, don't want to use that. I'd like to use something that had a full page picture as the start. Yeah, that's nice. We'll use that one too. Okay, so there's 5. And actually, I'm going to switch this one for that. Okay. Then I'll just divide up the pages. So everybody's got, let's give everybody another book page. So there's that. There's one for here, one for here. So I'm not going to shuffle those in. There's one. There's one. Just want to put in a, divide up the children's book pages. Okay, there's one there. Okay, let's do another round. So I'm just kind of like dealing out a deck of cards. How about this one here? This one could go here. And let's see, so that's all the children's book pages. So we're just going to put one of these here, one of these here. Just going to divide out what I've got left. And all right, now then, next we'll divide up these. So we left off with that one, so this one gets a page, this one gets a page, and then we're going to go back up here and divide these up. There's 2 there, yeah. Okay, there's my 5 signatures. So here's one, we'll set it over here. There's 2, 3, so that goes with that, 4, and 5. So now then what I like to do is put them in the order that I want to have them in the book. So this is going to be the beginning. And then I want to have a blank page. And then something else, maybe maybe the scrapbook paper. And then how about one of, oopsie, how about one of these? There's that. Excuse me. Okay, I think I want that one in the center actually. That. All right, I like that. So I have the little fold out there and this pretty picture, and these are going to be in the center. It doesn't have to be something special, but it's kind of nice. Okay, so there's the first one. So next, this one's going to start with the jelly print. So let's put it first. And maybe those are kind of the same. How about this? And about the paper. And then another book page. And some writing page. And that. Scrapbook paper. There's that. And this. And I see a little tear here, so I'm actually going to patch that up right now with some tape. Because I just made up a bunch more of this faux tape. And it comes in handy when you got a little tear. And some of these book pages are old and they do have tears. I'm just going to cut off a piece of that and put this right there. There, okay, that takes care of that. Okay, so, oh, there's another one. Let's put it on this side this time. Okay. All right, looks good. There's second signature. Okay, this one's going to start with this page. And I think what I'm going to do now is pause and start up again when I am done. So now I have all 5 of these signatures put together. Here they are. And now I'm going to put them in the book and we'll just see how it looks. So I think this one's going to be first. Maybe this one's second. I'll put that one in the middle. That one there. That one there. Okay. All right, that looks good. They fit very nicely. I don't see any that are sticking out beyond the edge of the book. That's good. If I have any, I mean, if there's any that are really sticking out, I might trim them off, but let's just take a look. That one looks okay. Yeah, so, you know, as you get towards the center of the signature, some of them stick out a little bit more, but these aren't bad, so I'm just going to leave them the way they are. They fit in there. They're just a little bit uneven. Okay, so kind of wish this and this matched better. Does that one look better? Maybe I'll use this one instead for the first one. Yeah, and then I like that. And this one will be at the back. Okay, so first thing I want to do is mark where I'm going to put the holes. And I use a template. I've used this template before. I used it actually on the other journal that I just got through doing. And it helps me. I mark where the top is and make sure, yeah, that's the top. And then so what I'm going to do is make little marks here to show where the top, the bottom, and the middle will be. And I can make little marks in here because you know what? It's not going to show. Once the signatures are in, that won't show. So there and there. Okay, so then I'm going to make the lines, and there are going to be 5 of the 5 signatures. So kind of like to take my Tim Holtz ruler, put the 0 in the middle. Okay, and so that would be the center signature. And then I'm going to have one that's close to this fold here, but I don't want it in the fold. So one's going to go here, and one's going to go here. So it looks like I have them every 1/4 inch, like so. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to mark them on the other side here too. Okay. And let's mark them down here. I believe in, I don't do it by eyeball. I like to know where I'm going, if you know what I mean. So let's see, where's that center at? Okay, that looks about right. So there's the center, and there's the others. Okay, I've made my marks, and now I'm just going to draw the lines in. So they're about every 1/4 inch. So here's my first line right there, and here's the second one, and here's the center. And here is the last line. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just to make it easier for you to see, I'm going to draw little dots here with my marker to show where I'm going to make my holes. Okay, so I'm going to bring my template in here. I'm centering it from top to bottom, and that looks pretty good. So I'm going to make a mark here, 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 and here, and here. So there's my 5 spots where I'm going to put the holes. Okay, let's line it back up again. Okay, so here, 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 and here. Okay, there they are. And like I said, this really won't show. If you look at this one, you'll see that what's going on inside the spine here. You don't really, it's hard to see it. Even if you just try to peek in there, you really can't see. Okay, so then I'm going to put in the holes. All right, so here, use this and this. I'm just going to poke some holes. I want to have something to poke my holes into, so I'm going to use this old piece of a mouse pad. It's foam. It's perfect for poking into. So we're going to go right where those holes, those dots are. That's where I'm going to make my holes. And let's take a look. There they are on the other side. Okay. All right, so you can see the rows of holes here, 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 and here for my 5 signatures. Okay, we're done with this and this. And I'll set this aside because now I want to put the holes in the signatures. So here's the first one. Now, I have a book cradle. Let me show you the book cradle. I'll do this one on the book cradle, then I'll show you another way of doing it if you don't have a book cradle. So I like to put the pages exactly how I want them to be. So that's like centered from top to bottom. If I have a small page, I get to decide where I want to, put it. I'm going to go through and make sure all these pages are right where I want them to be. Up or down, whatever, a little in the middle. Okay, that looks good. Okay, here is the book cradle. And I was lucky enough to know someone who gave me this beautiful homemade book cradle. So I'm just going to lay my pages in here. And I put a clip on here. I like to use these giant paper clips, but you could use clothespins or small paper clips or bobby pins, whatever works for you. So I'm going to lay this is the top, and so I'm going to put my template in here, and I'm going to center it from top to bottom. So it's just a little bit at each end. It's about the same exact amount. Then I'm going to poke the holes in. And really, it's so much easier to do a few small signatures rather than 2 or 3 really giant ones. Just easier to poke through. They're easier to work with. Okay, I'm going to push that aside. I'm going to get out my thread. And I've decided I want to use black thread, so I'm going to measure 3 lengths of the book. So there's 1, 2, 3. I like to be generous. And since I'm doing 5 signatures, I'm going to actually measure out 5 of these lengths. So there's 2, and there's 3, and 4, and 5. So let me cut those all off. This will make it a lot easier later on when I'm sewing in the signatures. I'll have all my threads ready. I just have a little hook up here, a little magnetic hook here on my lamp that I can keep these on. So I'm just going to hang them up there. And this is the thread I use. It's actually used for leather work. I've had this spool for quite a while. A lot is on the spool because here's a full spool. So you can see you get a lot of thread. It's 0.45 millimeter leather working thread. So if you look up 0.45, that's the size I use. And that's a good size. It's not too big, not too small. I don't like to use waxed because it's too sticky. I just don't like the stickiness of it. Okay, so I've got a big needle here. It's a tapestry needle, and don't be fooled into buying bookbinding needles that might cost you $4 or $5. I got like a package of a dozen of these for just a couple bucks. Check eBay. They're tapestry needles. So it has a big eye and a blunt tip. It's not sharp. Very easy to thread through that big eye. All right, so here's the first signature. Let's go ahead and put it in here. And I always like to start with the first signature. Some people start at the back. I start at the front. Just whatever you do, be consistent. It'll save you from making mistakes. And I still do make mistakes. Okay, so I'm going to leave about 3 or 4 inches of thread hanging out, and because I'm going to have to tie. Then you're going to go to either the top or the bottom, like so. So I went through the back and into the hole here. Okay, I'm going all the way back up to the top, putting it through here. And just kind of keeping it loose for now and making sure I get in the right hole. Okay, then I go back to the center and I'm going to go in this hole again. And right next to the other thread, it's going to come out right there next to the thread that I started with. Just pull it on through. Okay, taking the needle off. I have a little magnet on my lamp where I keep my needle, that way I don't lose it. So now I've got these 2 threads and I want to have one on each side of that middle thread. So here's the middle thread. I have one on this side, one on this side. That's what I want. Now before I tie it, I'm going to check the back, make sure that I went through the right holes, which I did. Okay, so I can take the clips off now. And I I will tie a square knot. So left over right, and right over left, and then I go through one time and then I go through an extra time. That makes it a surgeon's knot, and that knot won't come undone. I'm going to just leave the threads long because I'm not sure what I want to do with them, whether I want to attach something to them or maybe I'll go back and cut them short. I'm not sure. So there we go. Got the first one in, and it looks good. Okay, so I'm going to do this one more and then I'll turn the camera off. But I want you to see how to do it if you don't have a book cradle. So this is what I did before I got my book cradle. I had a big book. So this is actually Gray's Anatomy. I got this at a garage sale. It was really cheap. So be on the lookout for a big fat dictionary or something like this. Okay, so isn't this a cool book? And it has some really neat pictures in here, which I could use for collage and stuff. So I'm just going to open it up. I've got this kind of a natural cradle shape here. Let me just show you. See? And then I'm going to lay my signature right inside here after I get it arranged. So first I arrange them. I make sure the pages are the way I want them to be. There's my center. Okay, there's this page here. And wrapping paper. This page is shorter, so I can decide whether I want to go high or low with it, or right in the middle. I guess I'll go in the middle. Okay. Now, I'm just going to turn this way, since that's the way I'm used to doing it. So I'm going to put my signature down in here, go to the center, put in my clips. And this has like a natural V. It's holding the pages in place, and it does work just like a book cradle. Just want to make sure I don't get the pages of this book mixed in. All right, so there we go. Now I'm going to lay in my template and center it top to bottom. So I just have a little bit at each end sticking out beyond, and I can put my needle down in here. Just go straight down. Okay, and I'm going to get my needle and a piece of thread. And I'll just go ahead and sew in one more signature just to show you again how it's done, in case you haven't ever done it before. Okay, let's set that aside. Move this book out of the way. Okay, so start out in the center. Okay, bring my book over where I'm binding. That's where I'm going to put it, is right next to the first one. So it's going in the hole there. And going down to the bottom. You could go bottom or top, doesn't matter. I'm going to put it through the book cover first, and then through the pages. Okay, there it is. Back to the top, all the way up to the top. This, I guess I didn't say, but this is a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, is what it's called. It's my preferred method of binding. I do like the look of other kinds of bindings, but I always go back to this one. I'm just very happy with it. It serves my purpose. It's functional. Okay, back through the center again. Pull it on through. Okay, I'm going to put my needle back up there. Now then, I've got one on each side of the center thread. Let's check the back here and make sure I went through the holes correctly. I did. They're tight. Now, sometimes they get, hung up on something, so you want to make sure you check that before you tie the knot. And I'm pulling it snugly, but, then I'm letting go because it will stay, because of that thread going through the middle, your knot will stay where you want it. Then I go through here 2 times, tie that knot, surgeon's knot, leave those out long. I can take the clips off now. And there it is. So there's the second one in. Okay, so I've got 2 in, I've got 3 more to go. I'm going to go ahead and do the other 3, and I think that might be it for today, unless I decide to add another part. I'm not sure. Well, now they are done. I finished them up this morning, and I'm happy with them. I decided to add just a little key tag charm to each one, just to kind of dress them up a little bit. And this, so this is the one that I did first, where I messed up the cover, but it looks okay. And here's the binding. It has 3 signatures, and I thought those came out really nice. They really lined up nicely with the book title. And here is the inside. This is the fabric, my bathroom curtain fabric, which I'm running out of. And so I just did a little bit of embellishing. I added a few things, just a couple of pockets. I had these pictures of Roy Rogers and Dale Evans I thought would be cute in there. I definitely loved watching those when I was a kid. So here's some animal rummy cards, a couple other little pieces of ephemera, and a little card here. It's a little journal card I made. Glued a few things on the pages. This is an old schoolroom. Just kind of got a few things out and put them on my desk. I didn't really, I wanted to keep the price low on these, so I didn't add a lot to them. So that's At Play, which is, I think the little charm is so cute. And Friendly Roads, the other one, which is the one you watched me do the binding on, and it really, it came out nice. Here's the binding. So it has 5 signatures. There's the little patch, which, with everything else going on now, that really blends in. But it would have looked a lot worse if I hadn't painted the Tyvek blue and I had left it white. The white would have probably showed through here on the edges where it was really thin and the glue was seeping through, and definitely there. So, and then these little edges here, very sturdy now. They're not going to come apart or break apart because they're glued down really solid to that fabric, which, the fabric was thin, but it's just enough to give it some support. And I thought this came out really pretty. Here is the fabric, and the fabric looks so nice with this page from the original book. And once again, not a lot of embellishment. So I just added a few things, a little photo cluster, some Tim Holtz paper dolls. Just kind of where I had a lot of blank space, I would add something in there so that it wasn't, just to break it up a little. Here, this was part of another old book. I turned that into a little pocket, side pocket, and an envelope here with an old-fashioned Valentine inside. I thought this was cute. This was an ad from a magazine, which I turned into a journaling card. Tell Mother what's the matter. Look at that little girl's face. I can't remember what it was an advertisement for. Probably some kind of, what do you call it? Medicine type stuff. yucky tasting stuff that my mom and that my aunt used to make me drink every now and then. So there's the tuck here, or the fold actually, and that came out really nice. Didn't have to cut any off of those pages. It's a little side tuck there with another journal card from an old book page. And remember, I still have lots of old book pages. Here's another little envelope. I love to share from these books that I've taken apart. I don't use all of them. There's just lots left. So let me know if you would like some. And all I ask is that you, I'll put my email in my description box, and you send me an email, and I'll just explain to you, I'll give you my address, and you send me $3 to cover the shipping, and I will send you 10 ounces in a big, 8 by 11 envelope full of book pages, because I figured I could send 10 ounces for about $3. Okay, so anyway, have a great weekend, everybody, or week, I should say. And thanks for watching my series.